right here, and once again you're joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. Alright, in this video I'm going to be discussing this ancient map with regards to Africa, Europe, Asia, and centrally located in the center is Jerusalem, America over here. I believe this is England over here. Okay, so these maps are very unusual in themselves, just like a lot of our ancient art is unusual. But it's my position that the let me see if I can get this right across my tongue. The unusuality about these images is the fact that they're hiding an underlying knowledge, an ancient hidden knowledge that references mankind's true origins and genetic being. And that's why these images look unusual. They go through a great length to hide the detail, which is describing how genes are created in a cauldron, a cult-like way, and then dispersed out or dispensed out in a contamination process. And this has been going on since the beginning of time. When I see maps like this, okay, I see, first of all, I look at the image, any painting, any map, I look at it as a cauldron, okay, a witch's kettle, all right, where there are genes cooked, brewed, okay, and in other words, reinvented. All right, in this case, this is a flower, all right, a three-leaf flower. I'm not even going to describe it. It could be a clover, a lily, whatever you want to call it, then fine. I look at this flower as these three leaf petals, and Jerusalem in the center, as this is a flower, these are the leaf petals, and Jerusalem being describing itself. And this painting, the artist is describing this drawing as this Jerusalem being the seed. Through seeds come life. Okay. Another way I'm going to describe this is that I look at this as being well, no, I'm not going to, well, okay, yeah, I can go that route. As being, seeds are being equated to the reproductive system of the male and female body parts. And this being the sperm of that seed, and these leaves are being a product of that alteration of that created new sperm or sperm cells that were created. Let's look at it in that sense, because I'm going to go into bringing you a penis, of course. Now, notice that it shows that there's this concoction. Notice that you got sea monsters, okay, and then you got sea beings. It shows you these beings, these mythical beings. You got a mermaid over here going down, swimming towards England. Over here it's got like a sea god, a sea serpent man, half man, and these people are mythical beings that they're talking. You have to look at this as in the sense of a body of genes. This mythical being and this mermaid, they're swimming through the bodies of these created genes, showing you how these genes are being dispensed. Now, over here with Africa and America, you know, it's crazy because they have this ship. Now, it's my position that in this cauldron-like position, what's happening is these genes are created and then sent off to an experimental place to where there's a melting pot. Okay, and now America, it's always been said that it is a melting pot where everybody is welcome, where everything goes on in America. But over here, if you notice, everything is being pretty much preserved, and the genetic identities, except for Africa, because Africa is being torn every which way but loose genetically, and this is why there's this occupation. However, I don't want to go there. You got a sea creature coming over here towards America. We know what sea creatures are synonymous with: death, destruction, devastation. That's what this is describing. This ship is sailing back with genes. This is, I'm telling you, is equated to, it's telling you that these genes that were created is saying that through the slave trade, these genes were sent over into America. There was a chemistry, there was a contamination, and the chemistry was taken out of that location and sailed back. Okay, and that's what this is telling you. Cell back. Okay, genes coming in and genes extracted, and that's the reason why you have this ship here with the cells blown. Almost the same as what you would see in our ancient religious images, where you see people with angel wings flying back off, or birds flying back in or flying back out. That's what this is insinuating through this artist's description. Now, I want to show you something else about this. Now, here's another ancient map of Jerusalem. Alright, before I get to the penis and showing you the dicks and all of that stuff, I want to show you something about these maps of what I'm telling you that they describe genetic bridging. Here's another map here, and has Jerusalem as being right here at the center. You know what's amazing, because in this, you know what it has Jerusalem to look like? Almost like a cell, and at the center of the cell, you know, you ever notice like a blood cell has Jerusalem down at the center, and then it has all of these other crazy symbols and symbolization in there. But you know what's amazing is along the outside of the cell, in the green part, they have black faces, and then from that it shows this being an entire cell, a cell structure. Like Jerusalem is the nucleus, and this is an entire cell. Now check this out. Then they have a face looking like a moon here that's sucking in, drinking from that cell being created and showing you an extraction. Almost the same thing that I just described. So here we have another map, an ancient map, that has Jerusalem appearing as a nucleus in a cell structure. Created genes, a cauldron. The same exact thing that I just described here. And they're showing you the serpent genes swimming off from, leaving Africa, coming over to contaminate America. And then here, again, in this serpent, which we all know that serpents are described in the circle, turned in on itself, biting its tail, we're seeing the images of people of color in that serpent circle that circles around this nucleus, which is here, showing you, describing gene structures. Now, here's another image. I gotta make good for time here, where there's a building, this religious building, Jerusalem. An ancient map showing almost the same similar thing, but it's showing you the cross, which is describing, and then look, a branch of it showing you the cross-referencing of genes. I'm the first person that ever mentioned that the cross means the cross-referencing of mankind's and animal kind's genes. It's the creation of genes. Cross means cross-reference of genes. Now, I promised to show you something here. Now, here's this map here. You see this center focal point right here, where Jerusalem is at the center of the seed, of the seed of this flower. Here's the enlargement of that image right here, that center point. Now all you got to do is Google ancient maps of Jerusalem. This here is an ancient smoker pot. Again, I like to call that like a cauldron, place where cooking takes place. Now, why do I have that picture up here? You see this? This is a kettle, and you see that shaft coming out of there? This is like a drain off a smoker pot, and then the fluid is actually drained off from the meat being smoked in there. You see that drained off? Well, the reason why I'm showing you that kettle is because that's what this building right here reminds me of. A place where there's a chemistry like this, like Jerusalem now becomes this factory of mixing, and this relief valve or release valve, something you'll see on your hot water heater as well too. That's another example. Your hot water heater has a pressure relief valve, and you can drain off the fluids. Okay, so there's no buildup. A release valve, a relief valve. Well, this is the same thing with this building. Notice that in this painting that all of these buildings have a distinct look, except for this one. It looks like some type of device. An ejaculatory gland, if you will, of a penis. And then inside, look at how this door is made. This is not no regular door of no building. Look how tall and long it is. I equate that with being a penis of that of our African ancestor. And if you look inside here, you will see a bunch of multi-dimensional faces that you might be able to see one or two of, but I can see them all. There's multi-dimensional faces in there that create faces of royalty, kingships and queenships, of people of color inside of there that I can see. Now, I'm equating this to being a mixture, a mixing place, and this is being equated to being a black penis. But lo and behold, look at how right down there, this object in the shape of a penis comes out, and you see it going into a flow of a river. A release of fluids, bodily fluids created in Jerusalem. Even has a slice in the head, where this would be the head. Look at the line that creates the slice of the penis, right there. And it's going down into a river flow. Now on this side of the river flow, now this would actually be the other side. My camera has this going in the opposite direction. I got to speed this up. Notice that there are 3 crosses here on a mound. Well, that's the serpent's mound. Like the one that they have in ancient serpent's mound. If you Google, there is a serpent's mound too, by the way. Well, that's the serpent's mound. The serpent's mound, it's showing you that the 3 crosses are for the 3 cross references of this flower. I gotta hurry. That Jerusalem is doing. I gotta hurry because I'm going to mess up here and run out of time. I'm going to mess up a good video. These 3 leaves stand for the 3 crosses, the cross references. Okay, now if you look, how much time? 12? Okay, I gotta sum this up. If you look over here, the other flow of this river flow comes from the mound. This is back out to the mound of the cross referencing of the mound of those 3 leaf petals. Now over here, it goes back in, it turns in here. And if you look closely on the corner of the building, there's a male figure there that actually is incorporated into the corner of this building. And these building tops here represents an ancient cap that is worn by the Jewish people, the male. Now, it also is showing you that not only is it contaminating their own, now this trail is longer, showing you that there's a breakdown. There's going to be a further breakdown of what was created here. You come out, there's a male figure there, then if you come back around, there's a female figure here, and she has a cone cap on her head. Now if you Google back ancient caps of the Jewish people, the females have that cone cap, which is here, and the male figures can be shown equated with this. Almost equivalent to that in Catholic religion of the nun and the cardinal. Ancient religious figures shown utilizing from a chemistry, a cauldron-like chemistry, where bodily fluids, i.e. semen, which carries cells, are broken down through the bodies in a cauldron, a cult-like chemistry, and spread out to contaminate other places. Now, let's go back to that image before I close this out. America is the place where the poisonous part of that, where am I at right here? Right over here? Oh, I'm off the map. Where the poisonous part of that chemistry is being sent. And it's showing you by the sea creature that is actually going in. Now, if you come over here and over towards the other side of here, toward the Red Sea side, over to this direction, it shows you where that sea creature is actually destroyed or sinking in those waters. it thrives. That virus is thriving and alive on the American side, but off on this side, over towards the other side of Africa and Asia, it shows you that the creature is actually, the extraction was made. I have to let this go, people. I'll put a little bit more in writing. I'm gonna let this video go. Through seeds come life. Okay. Another way I'm going to describe this is that I look at this as being, well, no, I'm not going to, well, okay, yeah, I can go that route. As being, seeds are being equated to the reproductive system of the male and female body parts. And this being the sperm of that seed, and these leaves are being a product of that. I'm right here, and once again, you're joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. All right, in this video, I'm going to be discussing this ancient map with regards to Africa, Europe, Asia, and centrally located in the center is Jerusalem, America over here. I believe this is England over here. Okay, so these maps are very unusual in themselves, just like a lot of our ancient art is unusual. Our genes are created in a cauldron, a cult-like way, and then dispersed out or dispensed out in a contamination process. And this has been going on since the beginning of time. When I see maps like this, okay, I see, first of all, I look at the image, any painting, any map, I look at it as a cauldron. Okay, a witch's kettle, all right, where their genes cooked, brewed, okay, and but it's my position that the let me see if I can get this right across my tongue. The unusuality about these images is the fact that they're hiding an underlying knowledge, an ancient hidden knowledge that references mankind's true origins and genetic being. And that's why these images look unusual. They go through a great length to hide the detail, which is describing how the words reinvented. All right, in this case, this is a flower. All right, a three-leaf flower. I'm not even going to describe it. It could be a clover, a lily, whatever you want to call it. Then fine. I look at this flower as these three leaf petals, and Jerusalem in the center, as this is a flower, these are the leaf petals, and Jerusalem describing itself. And this painting, the artist is describing this drawing as this Jerusalem being the seed.